Hey people, it's Saturday, December the 12th, and it is 2:32 in the afternoon. And I'm just entering Kensington Market here on Baldwin Street. Just coming off of Spadina Avenue. And as you can see, it's raining pretty good right now. And it's a bit windy as well. I think it's around 4 degrees Celsius. And I haven't done a daytime walk through Kensington Market during a heavy rain, I don't think, in quite a while, if ever. I don't think I've done a rain walk through Kensington before. So let's just take a walk around the neighborhood. I don't expect it'll be too busy right now. I mean, Toronto is still in lockdown. And most of the eateries here are not permitted to have indoor or outdoor dining. It's takeout and delivery only. And as well, all the small businesses, storefronts, are not allowed to have indoor shopping. It's only curbside pickup or online orders. And I don't think a lot of the businesses in Kensington are set up for online orders. But nevertheless, it's not dead in here by any means. As you can see, there are a fair number of people. Got like a lineup here for the meat store. I think a lot of people are going out of their way to come and support the businesses here in Kensington during this time, because they know how important this neighborhood is to the fabric of the city. And the nature of this neighborhood is almost exclusively small businesses and independent businesses. So I can see a lot of people trying to make sure this neighborhood gets all the support it can get. And I think that's good. Let me just take a little detour down through this alleyway. And this is the vintage clothing section of Kensington. Most of these old Victorian row houses have been converted into boutiques with a very 1960s flower power feel. This is definitely the city's best known bohemian neighborhood right now. It started out as more of just an immigrant enclave. In its early days, it was largely Jewish. And then over time, it started to fill up with different immigrant groups, opening businesses of all sorts, really. West Indian, Eastern European, and then eventually it became known as a hip and cool neighborhood, not just an old school immigrant neighborhood, and then its transformation was pretty much complete, and it's kind of remained the same way for the last couple of decades easily. And it's always resisted gentrification. At this point, it seems almost outlandish for anyone to propose some sort of chain store in the neighborhood. They'd be laughed out of the neighborhood if anyone came forth with any kind of proposal like that. We're just taking a brief little jaunt along Dundas Street. This is the eastern end of Chinatown. But Kensington continues along here, along Augusta Avenue. Runs between Dundas and College Street. And between Spadina and just a block or two west of Augusta. You can see I suppose Bathurst Street is the western border of Kensington, although the blocks between here and Bathurst tend to be more residential in nature. The commercial part of the neighborhood doesn't really extend any further west than here on Augusta. The Boat, it's a very well-known venue. I believe it's recently closed down. The victim of either the pandemic or other circumstances. Maybe a mixture. I want to get a closer look at these sculptures across the street here. Those are pretty cool. Here's Bellevue Square Park, which I always like to joke that is like a little miniature Woodstock on a nice day in the summertime. Woodstock being, of course, the huge hippie festival in the 1969. I think some people who live here in Kensington are still living in 1969 in their mind. And that's not a bad thing. '69 was a good year. Let's just take a peek up here. There's a bunch of these little alleyways in the neighborhood that I have yet to wander into. That one wasn't as interesting as the last alleyway I wandered into. Looking back down Baldwin Street, which is the street we came into the neighborhood on. I'll be walking back down that way in a bit. There's an abundance of taco places here in this neighborhood. The last Sunday of every summer, all the streets in the neighborhood are closed to vehicles and it becomes known as Pedestrian Sunday. And the neighborhood just becomes jam-packed with people and buskers. And as you would expect in a neighborhood like this, there's an abundance of vegetarian and vegan eateries. And there's even a dentist office, so there you go. Here's where you get your cheap sunglasses. There's a few more businesses going up here, and then it sort of peters out into a residential street. Likewise, this is residential back to Spadina. Got all kinds of fruits and veggies. This is the neighborhood to go to get good, inexpensive produce. This and Chinatown, which is immediately adjacent to Kensington. And of course now cannabis is legal in Canada, but even before it was legal, there are some establishments here in Kensington where people came to openly purchase and consume cannabis, and it was mostly tolerated. The Hot Box Cafe back there was one of the places that existed for years.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I honestly don't know why most people even bother driving through this neighborhood. I mean, technically, yeah, there are streets, but it's really not set up for cars, you know. The streets are narrow, there's people walking all over them. I always kind of got a kick out of this place. It's called the Kensington Mall. It's like, yeah, it's not exactly the Eaton Center. But you do go inside there and there are a few shops down a long hallway.
I know you're in your comfort zone right now.
if it wasn't so overcast right now, with basically the fog shrouding the whole skyline, I would go up on top of this little parking garage here, because there's actually a really cool view of the financial district and the rest of the skyline from there. But I'll save that for another day, because you wouldn't be able to see anything right now. As you can see, that skyscraper up in the distance, only half of it is visible right now. And here we are, we're back at Spadina. This is the Chinatown neighborhood. I just shot a video of Chinatown before I did this Kensington video. So, hope you enjoyed this little walk in the rain through Kensington Market. If you did, please, by all means, subscribe. Like, share, comment, tell your friends and your family, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I've been posting daily lately, but I'll definitely be sure to post at least every other day. And be sure to always check back, because I will continue.